Hey, welcome to Outdoor Quest TV. I'm TJ Schwanke, and you're not going to believe, well, first of all, where we are today, and second of all, what we're hunting today. We're actually up in Coral Harbor in Nunavut, and if you don't know where that is, it's on Southampton Island, right up at the top end of Hudson Bay. And it's been a 2-day journey getting here, so that's been pretty exciting. But what we're hunting is even more bizarre. We're hunting walrus, and this is kind of a traditional Inuit harvest here that they allow some southern people to come in now and to shoot them, but the meat and all the traditional uses they've done with the walrus still go to the community here. So it's pretty much a win-win. I mean, they're making some money now. The walruses are going to be harvested anyways, so pretty cool trip. But things are happening fast. I landed literally an hour ago. Went, grabbed a peanut butter sandwich and changed my clothes, and we're heading out. The weather is absolutely spectacular today, and there's some weather moving in, I guess, in either tomorrow or the next day, and they're kind of worried. We're traveling about 80 miles to an island across Hudson Bay, basically. So when they got calm weather, they're going to use it. So buckle up. Things are happening fast. So we're here with Gary Adams, and Gary, you had a hunter here yesterday who I happen to know.
Yeah. But
and you guys got a nice walrus. I just saw the pictures.
Nice walrus, yeah.
Yeah.
So we've seen lots, and trying to take advantage of this unseasonably warm weather to get out with. We got about an 80-mile run on the ocean, so obviously having calmer seas, we're going to take advantage of them and see if we can find that same group.
So basically no darkness here right now?
The sun goes down for about 4 hours, but no darkness. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of dusk.
Yeah, so you said it could be an awful late night?
Oh, it'll be late, but it'll be worth it. It's exciting, and I'm sure we'll see lots of them.
Now, things don't typically happen this fast, but I literally got off the plane an hour ago and we're already jumping in the boat. But like you say, when you got weather like this, you got to take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because the seas can get rough and it just not as enjoyable, but also for safety reasons. So this far north, you never know what's going to happen with the weather.
I'm all good with that. So this is Troy. He's our head guide here. What's the plan, Troy?
Head out to Walrus Island.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
How come they call it Walrus Island?
You'll see.
Sounds good. How long have you been hunting walrus, Troy?
How long?
Yes.
I'm 34, so probably 32 years.
Yes. Your dad hunted them?
Yeah, all his life too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a big part of the Inuit life up here?
Yeah, hunting is a big part.
Yeah. And the walrus gives you much meat?
Yeah, lot. Enough to feed lots of people. They're big animals, eh?
Yeah.
They're the best tasting, their meat is good.
So we're about an hour out of Coral Harbor right now, and the first part of the trip was actually pretty smooth. There's kind of a big long harbor that comes out of Coral Harbor. It's quite protected, but now we're kind of out mid-ocean here, and it's getting rough. I mean, it's not too bad, but it's definitely rough. This is why they wanted to get out here early today, though. There's some bad weather coming in, and I can see why you definitely wouldn't want to be out here. I know Gary was saying they had their hunter out yesterday, and they tried to come out. They got about 35 miles out and had to turn around. So before you get seasick, oh, put the camera away.
Everyone has a dream season at some point in their lives.
We've got full freezers, a busy taxidermist, and several animals in the record books.
We sure do. Join us for our best season ever.
Join us on our dream season, season 24 of Outdoor Quest TV. Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Sacco Antica Firearms, demand perfection. Zeiss, we make it visible. Loa Boots, simply more. Silver Willow Taxidermy, see the difference. Closed captioning provided by Deluxe Wall Tents, made in Canada for Canadian conditions. Well, there's Walrus Island in front of us. A little smoother today, Gary.
A little bit. We're almost to the island, so stuff's about to get real.
This is where you were yesterday?
Close by.
Yeah.
Different islands, but in the same general area.
Yeah. What we're going to do here is we're just going to go to the island, kind of check it out, see if there's any big bull walrus here. If there isn't, there's another island. I guess it's another 18 miles away from here that we'll go check out. But it sounds like they haven't been around here too much. They tried to get here yesterday and it was just too rough. So we'll see what's here today. You see polar bears out here often? Yeah.
Yep. Walrus hunting island.
Oh, is that what they hunt here? Is walrus?
Yeah.
The polar bears hunt walrus?
Oh, yeah, they do.
And seal too? Yeah.
From walrus in the water.
So Gary, I see why they call this Walrus Island.
Yeah, there's full of walrus.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Usually, walrus everywhere. Like thousands of them.
That's why the polar bear's there. He's getting lunch.
Yeah, we saw a polar bear as soon as we drove in, and then came a little further down the island and saw lots of walrus.
Nothing but stinky walrus.
Good thing we don't have smell-o-vision here.
Yeah.
If you watch them, they're gonna roll down, eh?
Big
Phew.
Smells like walrus.
Hundreds of walrus. I've never seen a walrus till today.
Glad you came.
I'm very glad. It's hard when you're looking at just hundreds and hundreds of walruses here, and there's so many males here, you know, very similar sized, but the one we saw back on the other point there, I think, is still the biggest. But man, it's just hard to believe how many walrus there are. You see the video on TV, which you're seeing here, and it's hard to believe, but when you're actually here, it's truly amazing. Never thought I'd be here. You figure that one we looked at earlier was the biggest, Gary?
Yeah, I think we've looked at them all, and I think he's clearly bigger than the rest of them. But it's a good walrus. I think you're going to be happy with him.
Let's try and get on shore somewhere here. And
yeah. And plus he's in a good spot. I think we can get a good look at him and make it happen.
Terrible problem to have when you got 1,000 walrus to look at, trying to decide which one you want to shoot.
Yeah, there could be one hid back there, but we can't see him. We can't see him. You can see the big bulls, how much bigger their bodies are.
Yeah, they're huge. You ever thought getting ashore would be the hardest part, Gary?
Yeah, well, the rocks are slippery, I can tell you that, because I went in yesterday.
I bet they are. You don't want to have to fight a walrus for a spot on the beach either.
No, because I'm not much of a swimmer. And the water's cold. Just have to be careful. We're walking up through the rocks. There might be one laying up there we can see.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Defense Aerosols, bear spray for when your life depends on it. Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters. Alberta Outdoorsman Magazine. Midland Radio's communication for every adventure. We're just trying to find a place to go to shore here, and we found a spot, but this one walrus doesn't want to leave and let us in there. Apparently they can be quite aggressive, so we're just trying to get this walrus to move, and we can, there we go. Oh. He likes his spot in the sun. Well, we finally got that walrus to move, so we're gonna dock in here, and then we're gonna go kind of up and over that mountain, big rock, and then kind of go around and down and sneak down them on the other side. I guess sometimes they can be quite belligerent like that, and other times they'll take off as soon as they see us, so hopefully this one doesn't. Well, we got on shore without falling in the ocean, which apparently is a good thing, because apparently walrus will come beat you up if you fall in. So we're just gonna head up here now and see what we can do, but at least we're away from the slippery rocks now.
Either that one or this one.
This one's...
The walrus just below us here, but he's in this group down here, but there's one just in the dip here, and then there's 3 other ones out there. They're all fairly decent. But
That long one now?
on the far left. He doesn't look so long now.
Might be this middle one.
The sleeping one?
This way. I think it's one of them. Down.
This one right here, just looking at us.
Yeah, it's looking at us. Yeah. We went down with.
It's very thick.
Yep. The bar top might be a little bit worn out, but they're thick.
Very thick.
Yeah. I think so, eh?
Come on, it's this one right here, Gary. Right, laying down. So there's two really good walrus down here. There's one just kind of below us that's very, very thick, but doesn't look quite as long. He's kind of worn back. And then there's one a little further out that's obviously quite a bit longer, but he doesn't look as thick. So decisions. It's a terrible problem to have. Both beautiful animals, though. It's just trying to decide. This segment is brought to you by Stony Creek Hunting Gear. It's in the blood.
What do you think of this one?
Looking right at us.
Yeah. Ang naswina.
Okay, they're starting to move. I'm gonna have to take them now. Okay, you ready? So we were trying to decide between these two, and then I just kind of moved over here in position, and once they saw us, they got very nervous. And if I didn't shoot right away, he was going to get in the ocean, and we'd have lost him. So I made the decision quickly. Well, Gary, that happened fast.
Yeah.
But we saw, I don't know, how many walrus did we see here? Maybe 1,000?
Yeah, lots.
Yeah. And, you know, there was 3 or 4 bulls here that really stood out from the group.
Yeah.
And we were kind of looking at one up there that was probably a couple inches longer than this guy, but he just didn't have, like, the mass on this guy is unbelievable. And you can see he's worn down and broken down a little bit. Like, he was a lot longer at one point. And
Usually a sign of the old bulls. They're
It is.
worn down just from age.
this is a really unique opportunity, and I don't even think a lot of people realize that you can hunt walrus.
Yeah.
And, you know, up in Nunavut here in Canada, like, we have, like, this is the place to come.
Yeah. And people think there's not that many, but obviously today we've seen thousands, and this is just one island in this whole vast area. So the island, another island north of here has got just as many, if not more. There's lots of walrus.
Yeah, no, there's definitely lots. And taking out these old males really has no detrimental effect on the population at all. And hunting these things, I guess, once you find them, you pretty much know you're going to get one. I mean, that's not what this hunt is about. It's about the adventure of coming to the Arctic. I mean, we've seen polar bears, we've seen walrus. You know, it's things that people will never see, and I think a lot of people kind of miss out on a lot of that in the hunt. It is about the journey, the adventure, everything else. And, you know, taking a great old animal like this is a great reminder of that hunt.
And it's also just a pleasure to be able to hunt with the people, the Inuit people, and their culture, and they've been doing this for thousands of years. And the fact that they are willing to share this with us just makes it even that much more special. So many great people up here, and they live so close to the land. And these animals mean everything to them. I mean, it's their survival.
Man, thank you so much.
You bet. Appreciate it. Nice bull.
Just
Beautiful.
kind of all came together last minute, and I'm so glad it did. And now we got to figure out how to get this guy unwedged from here, don't we? Before the tide comes up.
They're a big animal. We don't move them around in one piece.
On this hunt, I borrowed a rifle from my guide, Troy, and it was a Tikka T3. And these Tikka T3s are the absolute workhorse of the North, and you don't have to look too far to find one up there. And it was chambered in 30-06, and bullet selection was a little bit interesting on this hunt. You know, we were hunting an animal that can weigh up to 4,000 pounds. So immediately you'd think you'd want a bullet with super high weight retention, a bullet that would offer deep penetration. A monometal would be ideal for that, like a bullet like the CX. But you saw how closely all these Walrus were together, and getting a shot at a lone male was almost an impossibility there. So I selected a cup and core. I was actually shooting the SST, and cup and cores are noted for being quite frangible, especially with close range, high velocity hits. But that's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want a bullet that had any chance of passing through and hitting a walrus behind my target. So that's why I chose the cup and core. Now, we never recovered this bullet, but I'm guessing if we would have, weight retention would have been just absolutely dismal. And a lot of people probably would have looked at that bullet and go, man, that bullet failed. That bullet did exactly what I wanted it to do. It penetrated deep enough to break the neck, but there was no chance of it exiting. So understanding bullet construction and how those different bullets perform under different impact velocities is critical. And in this case, it did exactly what we wanted.
So a big part of this hunt is the traditional use of the meat. It's been a traditional source of protein here for forever. And just the great thing about hunters coming in now is it creates some economy for the community, and walruses would have been harvested regardless, but this way some money comes into the community.
For more information on hunting walrus and other amazing hunts in the Arctic, contact Gary Adams from Canadian High Arctic Adventures. You can find him online at CanadianHighArcticAdventures.com. Outdoor Quest TV is also brought to you by these fine sponsors.